Hey boys and girls, it's Mr. Doug Storytime again, yay! And today we're going to be reading Wish for a Fish, all about sea creatures. We're doing that because we're talking about ocean animals in the month of June. So, this is a Cat in the Hat series, but the author is Bonnie Worth, and it's illustrated by Aristides Ruiz. Wish for a Fish by Bonnie Worth. I am the cat in the hat, and I hear that you wish to go down to the sea and to visit the fish. There he is. I wonder where they are. They must be at the beach. So please climb on board SS Undersea Glubber. It is made out of shark skin and very fine rubber. That's the name of the boat. It will take us down deep, deep down under the sea. We will start at the top and go deep as can be. The top parts are sunny and the bottom parts are black. We'll go down to the bottom and then we'll come back. So there are different zones of the sea, and it depends on how much light from the sun gets down there. The farther the sun has to travel, the farther the light has to travel down, the less light there is. So, the top parts are sunny, the bottom parts are black. We'll go to the bottom, and then we'll come back. There's the sunny zone, twilight zone, dark zone, abyss, the trench sea at the bottom you won't want to miss. A lot of zones, and we'll come back to this picture a lot, actually. The sunny zone is at the very top. The sunny zone is where our sea visit starts. Most of our sea life is found in these parts. The law of the sea is the same as on land. I'll call it the food chain, so you'll understand. Big fish eat smaller fish, and so on until you get down to one of the tiniest, the krill. You can see, those are the tiniest little creatures there. So this is the food chain. So the shark will eat bigger fish, and then smaller fish, and then smaller fish, and smaller fish. Okay? It's called a food chain. If you're wishing for fish, there are lots of them here. I see herring and mackerel swimming quite near. Fish can lay eggs. They have fins and fish tails. And most fish have bodies all covered with scales. These scales, they are coated with slippery slime. The slime keeps out germs, at least most of the time. We do have a couple of these fish actually labeled. So this is a mackerel fish. This says perch. This says codfish. And this says catfish. There's herring. And then up here is thing one. He's not a fish, but they still labeled him. And it says this is still the sunny zone. Fish open their mouths and they let water in. That's when the gills job really starts to kick in. You see, gills sift through the water and pull out the air. They help the fish find all the air that is there. All right. Okay, and that's how they breathe. They breathe through their gills. So they let the water into their mouths, and then the water comes back out the gills, those slots right there on their side, comes out the gills. And when it comes out the gills, all the air that's in the water gets trapped there, and that's how they breathe. Okay? The jellyfish is most interesting fella. He looks kind of like a transparent umbrella. Stay away from his tentacles, those long stringy things. They stun prey by giving off hundreds of stings. So look at the jellyfish. There's all different kinds, really. There's the compass. I don't know how to say some of these words. Aurelia, the comb jelly, and the cyana. Those are all different kinds of jellyfish. Of the hundreds of kinds of sharks in the sea, we only have time now to visit with 3. You knew we were going to get to the shark sometime. The 6-inch long dogfish, no, it never barks. Look how small they are. That's just 6 inches, and that's a ruler. The 50-foot whale shark, the Mack truck of sharks. And what have we here? It is called the great white for its white belly, great teeth, and great big deep bite. A shark grows its teeth in neat rows in its face, and when the front row wears out, the next row takes its place. Shark bodies are made of the same kind of stuff as your ears and your nose. That's what makes them so tough. The stuff is called cartilage. It folds and it bends, and when it is torn, the cartilage mends. So the shark body is made out of cartilage, and that's not bone, but it's like bone. If you feel your ear, that hard stuff in there that can bend, that's called cartilage. Even in your nose, that's called cartilage too. It's not as hard as bone. But the shark has cartilage too in his body, just like we do. I think he has a lot more than we do, though. It folds and it bends. And when it is torn, the cartilage mends. So it can mend, it can heal itself. What else can we see in this nice sunny water? Oh, say, see the manatee and her calf daughter? Manatees are mammals like you and like me. They have lungs and give milk to their babies, you see. So, there's manatee and there's the daughter. And they live in the water, but they breathe air. They have to go up to the surface and breathe air like we do. Another sea mammal we'll see is the whale. It's the largest of mammals we'll see, without fail. The great whale family is split into 2. Toothed whales, like the orca, and baleen, like the blue. So there are 2 kinds of whales. There's the toothed whale and the baleen whale. All whales either have teeth or they have baleen. Let's learn about that. Baleen fills the blue whale's mouth like a grill. As water flows through it, it strains out the krill. All right, see? So, we know that mammals that eat with teeth, they chomp away. They find food and chomp away. But mammals or whales that have baleen, they suck in all kinds of water, and then the water goes back out of their mouths, but the tiny krill, really tiny krill, that's a kind of fish, is what the baleen catches. Okay, so it's kind of like sticky, I guess, for the krill at least. All right. So that's how some whales eat. Some eat with teeth and some eat with baleen. The blue whale weighs tons, maybe 90 or more. It's bigger than even a big dinosaur. You can see that right there. We're still in the sunny zone, by the way. These toothed whales are orcas, and few can defeat them. They like to hunt seals and to catch them and eat them. The narwhal's one tusk sticks out like a horn. It looks so much like a one-horned unicorn. All whales hold their breath when they dive down below, and when they come up, they let it out with a blow. All right, so there's the orca whale, and there's a narwhal. This is called the right whale. It says all whales hold their breath, so they come up, get some air, and then they dive down below, and they hold their breath. And then when they come back up to get more air, they blow out all the extra air they have. Just like that, it's a spout. Before we go deeper, let's all wave hello to our mammal pals, dolphins. That's them down below. There they are. This is Miss Gabby's favorite animal. A dolphin can see in the night. Wonder why? Echolocation. It works like an eye. It sends out a click, and the click bounces back. And the sound of that click helps the dolphin keep track of where it is going and which fish is where and whether some foe like a shark might be there. So, dolphins use echolocation to see in the dark. And they do that by, they make clicks with their mouths, and then they listen when the click comes back to them. It bounces off something and comes back to them, then they know something is there, like a shark. Shake hands with the octopus. Isn't it great? With arm after arm just for hugging. Yikes, 8. Dear Dick and Sweet Sally, tell me, what would you think if I told you the octopus shoots out dark ink? It squirts out the ink in some enemy's face and then swims away to a much safer place. So, if an octopus is going to get attacked by a shark or an eel, because they're hungry for octopus, then the octopus squirts out an ink, and so they can't see the eel or the shark, they can't see to find the octopus to eat it. That's pretty cool defense mechanism. Now we go. Oh, hold on, okay. Now, I'm just showing you this page. So all we've read so far is from the sunny zone. Now we're going to the twilight zone, which is just under, it's a little darker there because the sun doesn't quite get as much sun down there. So this is the twilight zone. Of all the fights that are fought in the sea, there's one that is biggest, if you're asking me. Do I hear you asking? Oh, I'm so glad you did. It's the sperm whale versus the giant squid. That's a big fight. Like all whales, the sperm whale must come up for air. But this whale can dive, and when they stay down there for 2 hours or more at 3,000 feet, shopping for giant squid to eat. So this is called a sperm whale. And it goes up to the surface for air, and then it goes way down, and it can hold its breath so long, 2 hours, that it can hold its breath so long that it can go way deep into the twilight zone and find giant squid to eat. And you can see the sperm whale has teeth, not baleen. Now the dark zone. Okay, let me show you that. All right, so we have the sunny zone, and we have the twilight zone, and then we have the dark zone. You can see it's getting just a little bit darker because less sun gets that far down, less light gets that far down. So it's called the dark zone, and I've heard it also called the midnight zone, but this book calls it the dark zone. Get out your flashlights, it's dark way down here, and the fish are beginning to look very queer. The Gigantora and the big mouth eel, the whipnose, which comes with its own rod and reel. Down here, it is always as black as the night. So many fish here have their own light. Huh. They use it to locate a mate or some prey. Food hunting is hard like this day after day. Wow, so those are different kinds of animals that live way down deep. And it's so dark down there. That's called the dark zone or the midnight zone. Then we have the sunny zone, the twilight zone, the dark zone, and now we talk about the abyss. You won't find many creatures in this deep, cold sea. Sea cucumber, sea spider, and tripod are 3. The abyss has a carpet of thick, mucky muck. Animals have legs so they will not get stuck. So here's the sea cucumber and the sea spider. And then, let me see. And the tripod R3. I guess that's a tripod. I don't know what that is. Interesting. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is the tripod. Look, it has 1, 2, 3. It looks like legs almost. Wow, that's very different. Then the last level, the last zone is the trench zone. Let me show you. The trench zone. Way down here, the sunny zone, twilight zone, dark zone, abyss, the trench. That's the last zone there is. So let's read about it. Before we go up, it is really a must that you visit the vents, which are cracks in Earth's crust. It is up through these vents that the hot water spouts and warm up these clams and those worms hereabout. These are clams, and these are worms. Giant clams and tube worms have enough things to eat because this deep spot has unusual heat. And it is so dark down there you can hardly see anything. So that's why it's called the trench. Oh, say, can you see by my undersea clock? It is time for the fair Glubber got back to the dock. And now that our trip below sea is all done, I will bet that you two have a wish for some sun. Finally, they got back all the way up to the top of the water, the ocean. And now they're all the way up here, but on the beach. Okay, boys and girls, that's the book Wish for a Fish, all about sea creatures, and it talked about the different zones of levels of water and how much the sun gets down, the light gets down from the sun into the water. It gets darker and darker, and they're called different zones then, and different animals live in those zones. Okay? All right, thanks for listening, and you guys have a great day.